Hello, my name is Hunter Satterfield, and I'm doing my final ThermoPlastics presentation over copolymers. What are copolymers, you might ask? Copolymers are two separate monomer chains connected together by covalent bonds. The reason that this is done is because it takes benefits from both monomers and combines them together so that one product gets the same benefits without having to add as many additives or fillers to get the expected results. And then there are four main types of copolymers, and those are graft copolymers, alternating copolymers, block copolymers, and random copolymers. And then to start off, block copolymers happen when two or more homopolymer units or monomers are lined together in a single chain, and then the gaps between the two chains that connect them together are called junction blocks. And in the picture, there are three different monomer units. One's the A's, and the second is B, and then the third one is the C's. And the junction block can be seen in between the A and B. That little area right there is the junction block, and the same for B and C. And for these, all of the A monomers come first, and then the B, and then the C, and that's what makes it a block copolymer. Next is a graft copolymer, and this is the more complex of the four, and it features a main chain of one main polymer, which in this picture is A, and then it has a bunch of different connecting side chains that can be from any of the other groups of the types of copolymers, such as the graft or the block as well. And all of these chains are their own polymers connected together through covalent bonding like all the others, and that these typically create more stronger plastics such as high impact polystyrene. Next is alternating copolymers, and alternating copolymers have a single main chain like the block copolymer, but rather than having all the A's first and then the B's, they alternate between the two. So it would be in a pattern of like AB, AB, or if you have more, it'd be like ABC, ABC. And this is a way of forming tighter bonds together between the two monomers. And last is random copolymers, and this is compiles a lot of the other smaller groups of copolymers that don't really have a specific pattern like the other three do. It consists of two or more monomer groups, and their alignments are in a single chain as well. And but there's no order to how the monomers are placed between each other. So you could have ABC, CBA, or just a bunch of A's and a bunch of B monomers alternating at different numbers between each other, like the picture below, how you have different red and blue increments as the polymer goes, creating no known pattern. And these can also be referred to as periodic copolymers. Some common types of copolymers is nitrile rubber, which is used to coat fuel hoses in cars and inside buildings and everything, and it acts as a barrier to prevent the oil from seeping through and causing damage to any of the other parts. Polyethylene vinyl acetate, or PEVA, which is being used as a replacement for PVC because it doesn't have any chlorine additives into it, so it doesn't have a chance of leaking chlorine into any of the substances that you are transporting through the PVC piping. EVOH is used in food packaging, and it's used as a barrier to keep the food particles in, while also not allowing other particles to enter into the packaging to prevent spoilage. And then the most common type of copolymer is ABS, which is used for many different applications. A lot of people use Legos, which are made from ABS, as shown in the picture. And then auto parts are also made from ABS, electric housings for wires, and the list goes on. Copolymers are used in cosmetic materials as well. They are used in both liquid and powder cosmetics, depending on the copolymer. And then they're also used as thickeners into the makeup material and texture for the cosmetics, because you can add them without changing the overall coloring of the actual cosmetics. They're very useful for thickening them both, and also by changing the texture you can make it rougher or smoother depending on how you're wanting the makeup to actually feel. And then they are also heavily used in food packaging to prevent spoilage. This is because it acts as a barrier between the outside air and the inside air of the package. It helps prevent spoilage. Any of the moisture and stuff gets locked into the package rather than leaving and drying out foods. And it's typically more of a middle layer for food packaging, and this is because most companies don't like the visual appeal that it leaves on. It's more clear and doesn't stick to ink as well. So they typically put it in the middle with a different type of plastic on either side so that they could print on inks or add other protective barriers depending on what they're trying to preserve. And in the picture you can see an example of the barriers where there's 3 different ones. The O2 barrier is the copolymer barrier, which is typically EVOH, and then the ink barrier along with a PE barrier for other additives. And that has been my presentation. Thank you.